All right, Shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachaha Kodash. Double honors to head apostle Nettles, a great millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace and blessing to you, sincere Akim, that are pushing this truth all over the four corners of the earth, week in and week out, in all truth and sincerity. And Shalom to the elect. This is the brother Mattathiah from the GMS Virginia camp coming to you through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh being the true, holy, powerful name of the Heavenly Father. Yahweh Shai being the true, holy, powerful name of his only begotten Son, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus and Christ. Bahashem is in the name. And Lord willing, this will be an edifying lesson. And I wanted to touch on this video of, going into China's new marriage law, which I believe is soon to take effect. And which this video is, this Jake in the right hand of the screen, he does, these type of response type videos where he plays various different clips and speaks upon them. The title of his page is Darius M. I subscribe. It says, Modern Woman Panic, China's new marriage law takes effect, and women are furious. And I haven't watched all of this video, but I watched a good portion of it, and there was some good points that I wanted to touch on. So without further ado, let's play a little bit of this, and I'm gonna skip around as well.
In China, if a woman is over 30 years old and she is not married, she will be called 剩女,剩女,剩女, which means leftover woman.
Yeah, so in China, you get up in age concerning you women, in your 30s and beyond, you're considered by the population as being leftovers. Okay.
Marriage is like the lottery. You're probably not going to win.
I'm 45 years old, and I'm still not married and don't have children. Now I deeply feel that, sisters, you should get married sooner, because women who don't get married really have a tough time.
So, and this is over here, and over there in China, okay? Women are having regrets from not getting with a man at a young age. Now they're in the dating pool, the dating market, and they're no longer valued like they were or sought after like they were when they were at younger age. And this is a product of feminism. Even though feminism is not as heavy in these other countries as it is over here in Babylon the Great, it's still there. Okay. Esau's philosophies, Esau's doctrines have traveled the globe, and you have women concerning feminism. Women have taken on that ideology of feminism. I can do all bad by myself, that I'm good on my own, that I just need to focus on me, myself, and my career. Okay. And one day when I'm ready, I'll be able to settle down and find the man of my dreams, no matter what age that I am. Okay. And it's just not reality. And now reality is setting in with these women. Let's continue on.
I am 38 years old, and I am considered a leftover woman at this age. My life has become very difficult recently, and I feel lost.
See, they struggle overseas too.
And you would be considered a leftover woman in the ancient world as well, which you are a leftover woman. Okay. The scriptures say that a woman's desire, let's get that real quick, is supposed to be unto her husband. This is Genesis 3:16. It says, And unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. And these women, their desire is not in finding a man, it is not getting a husband, it is not coming up under the order of the man. It's the complete opposite. Everything has been rearranged, switched around, and ultimately turned upside down by the powers at be, which have been set in the seat that they're in by the Most High Yahweh. Okay.
Right. So if you got your passports, understand that feminism has seeped in some foreign countries. Right. These women, they 38.
Exactly what I was saying. Feminism is, has gone global. Even though it's not as heavy in these other countries and areas like it is over here in America, it's still there. And the whole world, the whole earth looks at America as the model to be. The mindset to be in, and ultimately, uh, you know, that is at the forefront, okay, of Esau's system. Just like the scripture says, all nations have, drinking the wine, and therefore the nations are mad. They have drinking that Babylon juice, and now they're seeing the results of that juice digesting and selling it in. Their children are moles. Their women are, not seeking to be in relationships, not wanting to have kids. They're getting old and finding out what you see on the screen, that they're considered leftovers, which, this is not just in China. Over here in America, you're considered a leftover as well, contrary to popular belief and contrary to what the media and society tells you that you are. And women over here in the United States are coming to that recollection. Hey, Kevin Samuels, this is the basis of a lot of his discussions and sit downs, was dealing with these women, speaking to these women that were up in age that still thought that they, had shit going on, that were up in age and thought that, that a man, a quote unquote high value man should desire her 3 kids, her high mileage, and her obesity.
45, 28, 29. And their culture, they shun that. If you ain't married by a certain age, it's like you're an outcast, right? You are literally left over. But in America and in the West, it's like glorified for you to be single, right? They love being single at 35, 40 and having multiple kids by different men. Overseas, it ain't like that. Your family will see you as a nobody practically.
I don't know how I went from being.
Yep. Yeah, and see, over in these different parts over there in these certain of these Asian lands and countries, uh, they actually look down upon that. If you just being single and a woman just trying to live her best life and not desiring a man, and as you get up in age now, you know you're looked at as leftovers, just an old woman that either nobody wanted or she's got screws loose in her head. Okay, let's go to Jeremiah 51. It says, Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. And these women are seeing the results of their poor decisions.
Being a positive and optimistic girl to who I am now. In the past, I was always a kind and optimistic girl, doing my best to solve problems and face challenges with a positive attitude. But now, I have lost the courage to face problems, and I no longer have the ability to solve them. When faced with trouble, I can only cry, feeling helpless. Right now, I feel like I have no support, and there is no reliable man to depend on, and I feel both pathetic and sad.
把自己嫁出去吧。
I sincerely advise all women to get married as early as possible, ideally before the age of 28.
She's in her car doing videos. At least she's warning women, right? In America, they don't warn you. They just say, well, live your life. If it comes, it comes. God will send you a man when he's ready. Just sit down and do nothing. At least these women are warning other women to say, hey, you got to make it happen. Else you're going to be, struggling.
Yeah, that's exactly right. These women are giving you advice from their own personal experience. Which the majority of these women are not going to take this advice. And 9 times out of 10, by the time they see this video, they're going to be too old anyway. They're in that stage. They're in the leftover phase. Okay. They're in their 30s. They're in their 40s. So it's already too late. They've already out of their prime years. Your prime years for you women are at a young age. Okay. By the time you hit 26, you're heading out of your prime. You're not going to look the same. Okay, certain features are going to leave you, and furthermore, you're not going to be desired as you were if you were desired, or whatever desirability you had is going to, start dwindling as you get up in age. Okay. Furthermore, as these women get up in age, they accumulate. Going into that high mileage, they accumulate a whole lot of men that they have slept around with. So now they have, you know, they have heavy demons on them from all the men and all the sperm that has uh, that has entered into their bodies. That's why a lot of them were bipolar. Okay, and men, they don't want to deal with that, man. Which that's the majority of the American woman, so to speak, man. Women that live over here in America. That's the motto, live your best life, get out here and sleep around with a whole bunch of men. And then when you see fit or when you feel like settling down, then settle down with someone. And it's not just anybody. You gotta settle down with a man that makes 100,000 a year. That's 6 foot. That's all. They have all these check boxes for you to check off. Here it is. They done been with 200, 300 men. Then done all types of freak offs in college, and they want you to pick them. They then gained about 30, 40 pounds, since you saw them in college, since you saw them in you know, uh, high school, and they think that you should still settle down with them, right?
You're going to be 35, 40, 45, and you're going to be alone and miserable.
Because once you pass 30, you will truly find that both the quality of your options and the number of men who are interested in you on the matchmaking market will decrease sharply. At this age, people begin to think you're getting older and start to lose their expectations for you. Many matchmakers no longer consider your actual compatibility but just try to pair you with any man, believing that you're too old to deserve a better one.
It's true. The older you get as a woman, the harder it is for you to get a quality man, because us men, we don't value a woman's work ethic. We don't care how many degrees you got. We don't care if you run a business. We don't care who you work for. We want a woman who's fit, feminine, and friendly. And that comes with age, because we want a woman to be able to, bear our children.
And that just
And that's what's being pushed in society, especially over here in Babylon the Great, concerning the masculation, or the attempt to emasculate the woman and demasculate the man. And now these women have they have these, they have begun to taking qualities of a man, and they also have begin to have the desires of a man as well. They think that men are basically on the same playing field as a woman, which basically is the definition of feminism. Let's get the definition real quick. Feminism is a social movement that advocates for gender equality in economic, political, and social spheres. Feminists believe that women and men should have equal rights and opportunities. And Yahweh Shem Yahushua didn't set it up that way. All right. There's no such thing as equal anything when you're dealing with men and women. All right. There's no equal rights. There's no equal opportunities, according to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, even though that's what's pushed heavy in this society. Okay. And, like we always like to say, amongst the brothers at camp, eventually everything's going to be reset to default. Okay. Because right now everything's all out of whack. And you so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American woman, y'all are completely against the order that Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai has established. Okay, let's get that real quick. All right, this is First Corinthians chapter 11. I'm going to start from the top. It says, "Be ye followers of me, even as I am followed." It's like, even as I also am of Yahweh Shai Mashiach. Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things and keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you. Concerning the orders, it says, verse 3, "But I would have you know that the head of every man is Yahweh Shai Mashiach, and the head of the woman is the man." Okay? The head of the woman is the man. And these women, they're against that. And, the philosophies of the West has begun to spread all over the earth. And these other nations are dealing with the repercussions of feminism, as well as all the other philosophies and doctrines that are pushed by these wicked elites. Okay.
Someone decent will do. The older you get, no matter how outstanding you are, the fewer choices you have.
I feel like such a mature adult today. I went to the gym and then afterwards, I actually showered.
Oh, hell no!
I'm in my 30s, no kids, single. In my Chinese culture, I would be called a 剩女 or leftover. But could you please explain to me why I look?
Because the Chinese culture, they value family, right? She looked like she's a Blasian, as they say, black and Asian.
And that's true over there in these Asian uh, areas and that Asian part of the earth. They do have higher values than over here in America. And family is a priority to them. Their daughters finding men to start, husbands to start a family together, at a young age is a priority to them. Okay. And not only do they shun and look down upon, the Chinese woman being in old age and, being single and childless, but they also look down upon, all these women in various different parts of the earth that pursue these type of ideologies, that are in that type of mindset. Okay. But they, the Chinese, uh, the Chinese people, the Asian people, they have a little bit better structure, so to speak, man. Okay. Even though not all of them, even though you have a, you know, Chinese, Asian, all right, men and women that are adopting, these philosophies, these ways, okay, that, ultimately just destroy you and your family.
With her hair and everything, and she's adopted the Western feminist culture.
The world is my ocean, and you're telling me I'm a leftover?
对了，我现在一直
Before starting to think about marriage.
Here's the thing: overseas, she don't look like 38. She looks like she's probably in her early to mid 20s. So over in China, they can get away with it a little bit. In America, chicks be 38, they be looking 55. It be women that be 21 and they be looking 30 in the States.
Hi guys, it's Hui from China. I'm 30 years old and I'm single. What does a charming woman like me in China eat for dinner?
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you,
we don't care.
我敢说，没有比我更蠢的女人了吧？
As a girl born in 1990 from an ordinary family, now 34 years old, when I think back on the path I've walked, I really feel a bit foolish. Many years ago, I believed in all those so-called toxic self-help advice, thinking that girls should first enrich themselves.
Yeah, you see, thinking girls that should first enrich themselves, get your life together, get a house, get a couple cars, start a business, pursue your career, you know, do this, do that, travel the world. And the last box that you can check off is, find a man to spend the rest of your life with. Shit don't work like that. That's completely backwards. That's completely backwards. Okay. But people believing in this, in this having this feminist mindset, and you got men that believe in feminism. All right. So people believing in that feminist mindset, uh, furthers Esau Edom's agendas. Okay, which that whole feminism is an agenda in itself, but it furthers his agendas and his clutch upon the people. And really, these people, these women that have this type of mindset are just being set up. You're just being set up for the okey doke. Okay, because the way society is heading, especially over here in Babylon the Great, um, it's heading to a very, very dark place that these women are ignorant to, where you actually going to need a man for defense and ultimately survival.
Guess what? Feminism translation. She believed in that. She drunk the Kool-Aid. They told her you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, the Kool-Aid, yeah, the wine of Babylon. All right, she drank that juice and she now has become drunk, and now, you know she's regretting and feeling foolish for the mistakes that these women have made in their past, and they're looking back at it like, yo, why did I do that? That was stupid. Now look at me. Now I'm struggling to do something as something um as easy as so-called getting a date, something just finding a man to take me out on a date. Men ain't even looking your way. They looking at you like, nah, I'm good. you know
You can be a girl boss. You can be a boss bee, and look where it gets them. Listen, that happens overseas too. It ain't just in America. It's chicks that drink that Kool-Aid, that follow that feminism route, and look where it gets them. Nowhere. They make a few dollars. They get a degree or two. They do a little traveling, but at the end of the day, they don't have no man.
Take their time and not rush, believing that one day I would find a man who is not only wealthy but also handsome and considerate. In the end, reality gave me a hard slap.
Yeah, and that's the standard that's set up, that you just live your best life until you come across the 1% of the population, which is a man that's a multimillionaire, who's fit in shape. He has all these accolades, he has this, he has that, has good things going for him, you know and that he desires you, and he's going to want you out of all these other women. Furthermore, they want you to be and monogamous to them. They want you to just deal with them. Here's, you have all these things going for you. You have the majority of the women that are pursuing and looking for that type of individual, that type of man, and they expect him to only deal with her. Furthermore, they expect that man to put a ring on it, to enter into a contract with you. Now, I'm not sure the marriage laws over in China, but this video does go into how they have changed the laws in China that are geared more to the man, which we're going to get into. Okay, real quick, let's go to Isaiah 32 and let's start in verse. Yeah, Isaiah 32 and 2. It says, and a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of the water in a dry place, as a shadow from a great rock in a weary land. So these women don't understand that society is going very, very dark. Evil times are approaching, where there's not going to be no accessibility to certain things that you have access to now. You're not just going to be able to pick up your phone and call 911. All right. There's going to be a time of, you know, a time of lawlessness. You ain't gonna just be able to scream to your top of your lungs and people come to your aid. Scriptures say a man shall desire to see uh, another one's face. Let's get that real quick. Man shall. All right, that's Second Ezra 16 and 27. Second Ezra 16 and 27. And it reads, it says, matter of fact, let's start in 23. Second Ezra 16 and 23. It says, and the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down. There shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all the places shall be desolate of men. Verse 27, so that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. Okay. You know, it says, for of a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field, which shall hide themselves in the thick groves and the clefts of the rocks. All right. And there's going to be great death happening during this particular time, which we're right there at the doorstep. Okay. Right there at this doorstep of all hell breaking loose, and these people entering into a survival of the fittest type mindset. And it speaks about that. And when you go back a chapter in Second Ezra 15, we'll go there real quick, and we'll play the rest of this video. It's Second Ezra 15 and 15. For the sword of the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Okay? So this is the times that we're entering into. And if you women thought you were scared now, well, you ain't seen nothing yet. Okay? And moreover, I'm going to say this, you know, that protection is not just going to come from any man. You know, that protection ultimately is going to come from a man that Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is dealing with. All right?
In the face. And now I've become an older single woman.
Why, I am still single.
Did you go out last weekend?
No. Funny?
9 years old, and through the process of arranged dating, I have gradually become aware of some issues. I remember when I was 26, a man I met through an arranged date told.
All right, I'm trying to find the part where it goes into the marriage laws, the Chinese marriage laws. Here it is. Here it is. And I'm not sure what the hell this is on the screen, but nevertheless.
Everyone pay attention. Starting from February 1st, the Judicial Interpretation 2 of the Marriage and Family chapter of the Civil Code has officially been implemented. This judicial interpretation consists of 21 articles, and many of the changes in these articles have truly caught those gold diggers off guard, especially the one about adding a spouse's name to the property title after marriage, which has undergone a huge transformation.
A lot of you guys think that only American men go through the hardships of divorce and family court. No, they do it to men overseas too.
It does happen overseas, but not on a large scale like it does over here in America.
Like they be taking men's money and breaking them down and emasculating them in court. They be taking
and that goes into, you know, what we read in I believe it's Jeremiah 51. These other nations have adopted the customs of Babylon. Okay, they've drinking that wine, and now the nations are mad. And that's why you see these laws, you know, being put in play and being changed. Okay, you see these people regretting. These people that live in these other lands regretting the decisions that they made, and you know, you got people regretting the decisions they made over in America too as well. You know.
A lot of you guys think that men just a lot of you guys think that only men in America in the West get done dirty in family court and divorce court. No, it happens overseas too. They take your money all over there, right? These Chinese men be going through it. These Asian guys, it ain't just Western men. They get emasculated and your property and assets stripped from you in family court. No, it happens overseas too.
Yeah, ultimately Esau wants, the ways of the West, the ways of it is over here in America, upon the whole earth. Okay, and he's pursuing that. What do you think his New World Order agenda is all about? It's for the philosophies, the doctrines to be accepted by the whole world and be under one world government. There'll be no divisions in beliefs, okay? No divisions in, so-called religion and outlooks on life and different particular regions of the earth. And along with that, he wants to have, every single one of these people with a electronic device inside them so he can further that and influence it, on a magnitude that the majority of these people cannot understand.
You see, in the past, if the name of a spouse was added to the property title, many people would think that this meant half of the house was freely given to the other party as a gift. But now, this operation of adding a name to the property title has become completely different. The property that belonged to one person before marriage, even after adding the spouse's name, still belongs to the original owner. What's even more surprising is that in the past, if the parents paid for the house for their child and the names of both spouses were on the property title, the general public would think that the house was a gift from the parents to the couple. But now the situation has changed. The new rule clearly states that if the parents pay for the house will belong to the side of the parent who paid.
That's how it should be, you know, because a lot of these women just marry, according to the state, to reap certain benefits and to set themselves in a better position than previous concerning if a divorce takes place. Okay. So now these women that get married, when they split up, they don't get half the house. Okay. They don't get the assets that they used to be able to get. And he's gonna further go into that.
In other words, the property belongs to whoever paid for it. For women, this means that marriage is no longer an insurance box. In the past, many women thought that after marriage, if their name was added to the property title, it was a kind of security from their husband. But now, if a woman does not have economic ability when it comes to divorce, there's not much she can take with her. In fact, she might end up with nothing. For men, the impact of this change is even bigger.
Put the power back in men's hands. I'm happy. Here's the thing, it's all fair. You can't just get.
And that's the way it should be because a woman is a possession. She is the possession of her father, which then he transfers that possession in an agreement when he gives her over to a man that is going to take her as his wife. Let's get that real quick. Let's go to Sirach 36 and 24. This is Sirach 36 and 24. It says, He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. All right. So, that transfer of ownership, which came with an agreement, a contract, okay, a transaction, all right, that man basically had to pay that father of that woman. All right. So it's a transfership of ownership. And these people don't like to hear that, but that's just the way it is. Okay. It says, He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession and help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. All right. And nowadays, being that these curses have been put upon the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, when we get women, we're not getting a pillow of rest. All right, you're just getting a demon that ultimately is, you know, can very well make your life miserable because these women are not set on their main goal is not, towards serving their man. It's their minds are all over the place. Okay, and it's happening all across the board. Men with money, men with status, all right, men with riches, influence, are dealing with these things. They're dealing with the product of feminism. All right, but I will say this: feminism is on the decline.
Married, and then when you done with the guy, just take his assets and resources and take the house. That's evil, man. That's highway robbery. The courts they are so biased against these dads, against these men. That's why men are saying, you know what, I'm done. I'm tapping out. And that's why so many men are not getting married, not just in America, but in China, as you can see.
I'm really angry right now. Sisters, I really have to remind you all. The new marriage law for 2025 is out, and we can't keep sacrificing ourselves for that little family anymore.
That's sad. Listen, women are not in it for love. They're in it for business. They don't care about you. They care about the resources and what they're able to get. So they'll give you a kid or two or three. They'll marry, but they want something in return. Right? She said that little family, like it's nothing.
Stop just staying at home, raising the kids, and doing all the chores every day. Oh my God.
That's what you're supposed to be doing. That should be your desire, for your man to roll over you, for you to do the chores, for you to raise the kids, for you to take care of the household and take orders from your man. As simple as that, man. It's really simple when you get down to the basis of it. It's just Esau is his complicated things. Being this earth has been given into his hands. He's been able to do these things. He's been able to speak great things, against Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And like the scripture says, when a rich man speaketh, everyone listens. And Esau speaks in many different ways. He uses celebrities. He uses people with influential positions, which he has put them in, to persuade the masses. He puts it in the movies. He has programmed the minds of these people over time. It didn't just happen overnight. Over time, in the process of gradualism, people have begun to adopt these ways, over generations and generations. Okay. And people are waking up to the fact that it's all bullshit. But you still have people lost like this. When these laws change, they just get worse. And they, go extreme feminism.
God, you're stuck at home like a maid.
You're gonna have to clean up behind yourself anyway if you're a single woman.
Cleaning floors, wiping surfaces, and you don't even have the time to wash your face or put on makeup.
It takes no more than 20 minutes to wipe down surfaces and do some dishes. That is not hard. They got dishwashers. And they talk about some washing your face and put on makeup. They more concerned about doing that than actually taking care of families, taking care of kids.
You're working so hard, but the man still thinks you haven't contributed anything. This is just ridiculous. Today, a lot of men left comments on my post. Reading those
I'll leave the link in the description box to this video, and y'all can finish it out if you desire to do so. Let's go to Isaiah 32 and finish that out. Bear with me one moment. Because it's all fun and games. It's all smiles and jokes and laughter and this and that. We need to change this and woman and all that. But hey, when the times get rough and tough and scary, when those terrifying times come, these women ain't gonna stand in this position. At least not on the majority standpoint that we see today. Let's go to Isaiah the 32nd chapter and let's continue on in verse. Let's go down to verse 9. It says, "Rise up, you women that are at ease, hear my voice. Ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. And you've seen the women who are dealing with being quote unquote leftovers, which some of these women look decent. They're in shape. They're over there in China, so their diet's somewhat better. They exercise. These women aren't morbidly obese. Where do you think you women that are especially the so-called black women, okay, that are loud, not feminine, don't have feminine qualities. Some of these women have feminine qualities, even though they're still have that mindset of feminism. But what do you think? You women that don't have feminine qualities, you're loud, rambunctious, out of shape, obese. What do you think y'all play in the status quo, so to speak? Hmm? It says, "Rise up, you women that are at ease, hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall you be troubled." So it says, "Many days and years shall you be troubled." Okay, and the warnings has gone out. The prophets have gave warning through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai to you so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans, man, concerning the days of trouble, Jacob's trouble. It says, "Many days and years shall you be troubled, ye careless woman, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vines." So, they're going to, your benefits, the various things that you were able to do, you're no longer going to be able to do. Hey, men are no longer going for the bullshit. Men are no longer falling for your tricks, your scams. They're waking up to the fact that these women have been bamboozled by the system, ultimately these wicked elites. Okay. And there's an agenda that's ultimately targeting against men and, uh, men being masculine as they're supposed to be. Okay. And this is all set up and orchestrated by these wicked elites and their secret councils. Let's get a scripture and then we'll close out. Let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 64, real quick. So Psalm 64 and verse 1, it says, "Hear my voice, O Yahweh, in my prayer. Preserve me my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words." All right, amongst Esau's counsels, do they set up these things by design? Okay, to persuade the minds of the people little by little, gradually, to conform them over, to their particular plan mindset, which is an execution to fulfill their agenda. It says that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. All right, the whole feminism and setting the man up over the woman, that's all is an evil device, an evil matter. It says they commune of laying snares privately. Hey, that this is a snare amongst the people, especially you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. When you go into the destruction of the family household concerning Jake, all right, it says they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately. They say, "Who shall see them?" They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep. Okay. So, Lord willing, that was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachahakwadash. Double honors to the head apostle, Nellis, a great millstone who rule well and teach well, and shalom to the elect. To the next time, shalom.